I'm Ydwena Jones and I used to live in Talybont. In 1984 I got married and came here, and I was a teacher in the local school. I met Joan Fox when I was in Talybont school. She was already there. I came as a new teacher and she was a volunteer with Tony Rowell, the headmaster, and she came in every week to play the piano for music sessions with the children. And Joan was very enthusiastic and loved to get involved in everything. She was a retired teacher herself, and she loved music and drama and was determined to keep that passion going. So she started up a drama club in Henderson Hall. Every Friday night they used to have little soirees, and she used to have all the village here to become part of that. Then she asked me, would I help out with her performances in the hall? And I became the prompt, and I used to help. I was on the side, I got to do the curtain, and Ken, my husband, used to do the lights. It was such a buzz when the shows were actually on in the hall. The night was always very exciting and very busy. Ken and John Fox would be out the front doing the lights and getting all the chairs out and everything. Joan would have transformed the changing rooms into dressing rooms, and she'd have all her old curtains out on the floor so it'd be nice and warm for the children because they were sports changing rooms. The children would be extremely excited, and the boys would be in one dressing room and the girls in the other dressing room. And her friend Maddie would come down on holidays to help out, and she'd be in charge of one dressing room and Amber would be in charge of the other. Fortunately, there was a door from the changing rooms to the stage because the noise was quite difficult to keep them quiet. And then I'd be on the stage in the corner, opening the curtains and closing the curtains and getting the children on and off at the right time. Joan would be out front. She would be playing the piano and introducing the concert and everything. And the hall would be absolutely packed. There was no room to get a pin extra in because everybody was so excited. The whole community came together, from young and old, were all there, packed out. The impact that the drama club made was huge in the village. The children started at 6 to 18, so it was like a youth club really for the whole village and the surrounding areas. As the popularity of the drama group grew, so people came from far and wide to be a part of it. The children had a great time socialising every Friday night with their friends, and the older ones helped to look after the younger ones. So it was very much a family feel. And then everybody in the community was encouraged to come and help in some way or other. Obviously, the families all came to support. So the whole community would turn out to the concerts, and they would help on the door, and the WI would do the teas afterwards, and so that was their contribution. But Joan was involved with so many people in the village. They retired to the village, but made themselves very much part of the village very quickly. And it was just a whole youth club for the children, and many of them learned incredibly valuable skills and went on to do drama related activities as a result, but gave them a huge amount of confidence and skills in their lives. The shows that Joan did were mostly pantomimes. We used to do pantomime every year, but she also used to do, to train the children in drama skills, they used to do little one-act plays, and the children would work in groups of 3 or 4 and work on those each Friday, and then it would culminate in a show where all the parents would come to see, and they'd learnt to direct it, and they'd found their costumes, and it was all very much part of that, them learning themselves. And then the pantomimes were something else. That was the highlight for the community, with the pantomimes, and many of the young lads of the area dressed up as pantomime dames will really stick in my mind. And she also taught piano lessons in the area, so she used to have musical soirees as well, where the children would all perform their pieces. And so that would become in the hall then, and everybody would come to hear them perform, which was quite a big thing for young children, and with very happy memories. Probably the show that sticks in my mind most is the one in 1999, Alice in Wonderland. Sadly, Joan died in June 1999. She was 82 and had been working on Alice in Wonderland. She was still running the drama group and full of enthusiasm. And she sadly was taken ill, and I then inherited the drama club as I'd been helping out more when my own children became involved. And we did a tribute show of Alice in Wonderland in November 1999. And that was quite a special memory and a lovely tribute to Joan Fox. Following Joan's death, the family asked if I would carry on the drama club. They asked me to do a tribute to her at her funeral, and the money from the funeral was to go to the drama club to continue her good work. And as Bethan and Rhys, my children, were involved, I felt obliged to carry on, although we had by this time moved from Talybont and were living just outside Brecon. But we came back every Friday night and for 10 years continued to produce a pantomime every year. And Sue Thorne and Mandy Williams helped me out with the costumes, because Joan Fox did everything. She made every costume. And so new people from the village, then their children were involved, and to be fair, everybody stepped up, and we managed to keep the drama club going, and the wonderful evenings, entertainment, and the community spirit going. And when Rhys became older, he was interested in drama, and then he used to run the practices on a Friday night, and I was just there as a second in command. And then when he went to university, we started running out of children in a way, because in villages the younger children go in spates, and so the drama club sadly came to an end as we knew it. Talybont was so lucky to have Henderson Hall as a facility. It was an amazing building, and they were very lucky. J.L. Stevens, the local company, had built the hall, and so it had a few extras put into the hall. But it was an amazing facility to hold concerts, because the kitchen was separate, with the anteroom then to be able to serve the teas without impacting noise in the main auditorium. The hall itself could be split into two, so on Friday nights half the cast would be practicing in one half, and then the other group, so you could do two scenes at the same time, and there was plenty of space for the children to be able to do drama activities on the floor and move round and dancing, which was another fond thing of Joan's. And then the actual concert nights, to have this lovely stage, and we had the professional lights and the curtain for the children, just being on that stage, and the excitement and peeping through the curtain to see how many people were in the hall. And obviously all the fly curtains made we could have the different scenery changes. It was just an amazing facility. We had the toilet out the back, so we didn't have to come through the hall, because Joan Fox would not allow anybody to be seen in their costume before they were on the stage. And it was just a perfect building. The Henderson Hall has been part of my life as long as I can remember. I'm just a little bit older than the hall. And so we had family living in Talybont, so we used to come here for different occasions, concerts and things. My parents were very much into music, so we used to attend concerts here. And my mum helped to set up the Talybont-on-Usk because one of the ladies from the White Hart used to work with my mum in the tax office, and so they held an Eisteddfod in 1975, in October 1975, and I would have been a teenager then, and I actually competed in the Eisteddfod in the hall. And as your life goes on, it was quite a venue for 18th birthday parties and dances and things as I was growing up. So I used to come to those. And I actually met Ken, my husband, at an 18th birthday party here. And then we got married a few years later. We had our wedding reception here, so it was a fabulous venue. It was a really hot day. They were actually playing cricket out on the field. We could see them from the window playing cricket. We had all my wedding photos on the playing field. And then later on, we had family events here. We're quite a large family, so we used to hire the hall to have family events, christenings, and my parents had their ruby wedding party here. So lots of very fond memories of the hall. And of course, Ken was involved in building the hall, and he was very thrilled to be asked to build a notice board in memory of Joan and John and the contribution that they made to the hall.